The biggest question you need to answer if you want to stop being money anxious is this: how do I know if I'm saving enough? In this video, I'm sharing the 3 specific ways that you can answer that for yourself from my experience in coaching several Filipino professionals so that they could eliminate money anxiety and instead balance enjoying the fruits of their labor while saving up for their future goals. So let's get into it. It's so important that you answer this question because I've seen Filipino professionals being stuck in either hoarding their savings because they don't know what is enough and when it will be enough, or the other extreme of like, I need to keep saving and saving, but then I have to deprive myself in the process to save faster, but they don't know like what is truly enough for me so that I could feel at peace, I could feel secure with my savings. Because I have seen how clients come to me for help when they realize like, wait, despite having savings, I never felt secure. Or despite increasing my savings in my bank account, how come I'm still living in fear? How come I'm still crippled by money? How come I'm still so anxious whenever it just decreases a little? How come I'm still so scared to use money for pursuing my big dreams? So that's why I believe that it's not about how much savings you have, but how purposeful you are behind your savings. So I talk a lot about in my channel how I achieved my first 6-figure savings, my 500K savings, and then my first million pesos net worth. I share that as my accomplishment, as my milestone, but then I didn't really put that as a target in terms of like the vanity metric of a number. I looked at, okay, this is the target because there is a clear purpose and goal behind it. So may it be first, when I decided to quit my job, there's a certain amount of savings that I needed for me to feel confident, to feel at peace with embracing the learning curve of starting my business and quitting my corporate job then. So it's not just, oh, I need to increase my savings, that's it, but like for what? And this is a question that I love asking my clients, is like, what's your purpose behind that? So how do you know if it's gonna be enough? Or for what purpose are you saving up for that? Or what's your intention behind saving up for that? Because in that way, money doesn't control us, rather we are in control of where our money goes and what's the purpose behind our savings and when to give ourselves permission to actually use it. Because I have seen how savings can actually cripple you from feeling at peace, from pursuing the life that you want. May it be because there's an emergency and you're scared to use your emergency fund, even if it was for emergency, or you're scared to touch your savings when you had to pivot to another career or pivot to another job, or you had to move out on your own. So this is the mindset work that you need to be aware of when it comes to managing your money. And that's why as a money mindset and life coach, this is what I'm passionate talking about, that it's not just about hitting a specific vanity metric for your savings, but it's also being so crystal clear on what it's actually for. And that leads me to the first step on how you will know if your savings is enough. And that is, first, get crystal clear with your life goals in the next 6 to 12 months. So you've probably already heard how important it is to set goals, right? But here's the biggest mistake I see Filipinos making that is not talked about enough, that they either set goals based on what they see their friends have, or nakiki-goals sila, nakiki-dreams sila according to what they see others are doing. Oh, yung friend ko nagpakasal na at this point, so dapat mag-ipon na rin ako for a wedding. Or yung friend ko bumili na ng house and lot, so dapat ako din magsasave up na rin ako for that. Or may friend ako na bumili na ng condo, so dapat ako din. Or yung friend ko meron siyang 500K savings, so dapat ako din kasi parehas kami ng line of work or industry. Another mistake when setting goals is that you create goals based on what society expects for you to want, instead of really digging deep in understanding, like, what do I really want out of life? What really gives me true happiness, fulfillment, purpose, and passion for my life? And this is such a crucial step, because if you set the wrong goal, then you're going to set unrealistic savings targets that will make you even more anxious, or you're eventually going to give up on because you're not really excited about that goal, or that goal is not really what you truly want. It's just what expected of you, or dapat yun na yung goal mo ngayon. That's what you should want at this point. And That's why I'm so passionate about helping my clients in creating that safe space for them, in figuring out what they truly want out of life, not according to what their parents want, not according to what their friends are already doing, not according to what society expects of them, but really looking inward and digging deep and remembering those real desires and dreams that they have maybe parked for a long time, and now it's time for them to listen to that voice again. Because when you get crystal clear with these goals, then you're going to be excited to save up for them. You're gonna be excited to prioritize it instead of procrastinate your savings goals, or you don't get so attached to your savings that you're scared to use it for a specific goal. Let me give you a specific example how important this is, that you get to be crystal clear with what you want when it comes to your life goals. One client of mine came to me, she's like, one of my life goals is to pass the CPA board exam. I failed it so many times every year, but now I want to take it again, give it my one last try, and I'm going to save up for it. So madaming kadikit na gastos when it comes to taking up the CPA board exam. You pay for a fee to take the exam, and then everything else around it, when you review, when you study, takes a long time. And so I forgot the specific amount, but it's a big amount to take the board exam again. And after going through the coaching sessions, after guiding her and really figuring out what she wants out of her career, she realized that, wait, the only reason why I want to take the CPA board exam is because I want to look successful to others. Or that is the next step that is expected of me, to be a professional. That is what will make me look good to others, na nakapasa ko nito, I'm a professional now. And that's when she realized, like, oh my gosh, buti na lang na-realize ko ngayon na hindi ko pala passion yon, na hindi pala yun fulfilling na career path sa akin. Because if she pursued that, she would have wasted money, wasted savings to do that, only to realize na hindi pala yun yung talagang gusto niya. So this is an example of like how it's so important that you're able to figure out what you truly want for yourself, listen to your own voice, instead of allowing yourself to be dictated by what will look successful, what will make you look good, what's expected of you by your parents. Because this is such a huge factor in helping you understand how much savings would be enough, right? Like, so for example, for that client, when she realized like, oh my gosh, I don't want to take the board exam, like that's not what I want. And so we were able to reduce her savings targets for her emergency fund, for her overall savings, because she realized like, I don't want to save up for that, mapapabilis my emergency fund ko, so I could actually pivot in the career that I want. And so we were able to narrow down ano ba talagang enough na savings para sa kanya, so that she's able to pursue the life that she truly wants. And so it's not based off, ito yung by this age, dapat ganito na yung amount of savings na meron ako, dapat dahil 30 na ako, or dapat above 30 na ako, ito na yung savings ko. No. Like, I believe that your savings need to be aligned to the dreams that you have, to the priorities that you have, to the life stage that you have. One client of mine who is a mother with a child is gonna have a different savings with someone who wants to move out on her own and move out of her parents' house and go live in La Union for 6 months. Like, it's so different. In the same way with me, when I reached my first 500K savings, the reason behind that was because I wanted to have sufficient savings for me to start my business. So before, I thought the goal that I wanted was like, oh, I want to start investing in my first real estate property. I have the savings. I'll make sure to prepare my savings for it. That was the goal that was based on societal pressure, based on societal expectation. Because at that time, at my corporate job, I could technically afford it na, because that is technically the next step that you should take. Because, oh, okay na yung career mo, you can cover the monthly payment, you can save up for it na. But then again, because I gave myself the space to really reflect and figure out what I truly want out of life, I realized that I don't want to use my savings for that. I want to pivot in my career and start my dream business. I want to quit my corporate job. I don't want to go back to it again. I want to have a career that gives me freedom and meaning. And so what happened was my goal changed into launching my coaching business that I have today. And so that's how I knew, like, okay, so ito yung enough na savings para maging komportable ako to quit my job and go all in for doing my business for 1 whole year. And that's when I knew how much savings is really enough for me. And that is so important, that you get to really be clear on how much savings is enough for you. Not based on, dapat sa age mo ganito na, dapat sa career mo ganito na, dapat pag may asawa ka na, yung mga ganon na parang, sinong may sabi na dapat ganito, dapat ganyan. And I feel like that's why this step is so important, because you get to really eliminate those expectations and societal pressure and get to focus on you. And what are those life goals that would truly give you happiness, fulfillment, and freedom in your life for the next 6 to 12 months. This is really the core of what I do in helping my clients, that when they get crystal clear on that, they also become excited to know what's worth spending on, what they're going to say no to, and also what is the purpose behind their savings, so that they're in control of using their savings instead of being crippled in fear with their savings. If this resonated with you and you want to learn more how you can really get crystal clear with what you want out of life, so you can balance enjoying the fruits of your labor while saving enough for your future goals, I really recommend that you watch my free training on how to be financially free with one income stream at a time as a Filipino corporate professional, freelancer, or small business owner. You just need to sign up with your email so that I could send you the training video straight to your inbox, where you will learn my 3-step roadmap to financial freedom that has allowed me to build my first ₱1,000,000 net worth. I dive into there more how crucial it is that you figure out what you want out of life, because it will manifest into how you also manage your finances properly, how you manage your income and allocate it properly. And I dive into way more client success stories over there in my free training, so you can get inspired of how possible it is to eliminate money anxiety and build sustainable money habits and systems, because you are crystal clear with where your life is going, and therefore you also know where your money is going. So check the link in my bio to watch my free training after you watch this YouTube video, and get ready for more truth bombs. Moving on now to the second step on how you will know if your savings is enough, and that is quantify the monthly income and savings to get to your life goals. So with the first step, that you are now crystal clear with what you truly want out of life and you've set goals around that, then the second step is going to be so much easier, where you're able to quantify how much ba yung income and savings for me to get there. This is so important because you get to avoid the trap of hoarding savings, of earning more, but not really knowing what is enough, when it will be enough. So as I've touched on earlier, because my goal was then, okay, I need to quit my job, I want to quit my job to start my dream business. So my savings was based off that. And also, what are the living expenses for me to cover month on month if I were to do my business full time? So from there, I also identified, okay, this is also the monthly income that I would target for my business if I want my business to sustain myself monthly, if I want my business to sustain my ideal lifestyle and at the same time live comfortably. Because the mistake I see Filipinos make is that they want to do all of the things. They want the property, they want to invest, they want to get married, they want to move careers, they want to buy a house and lot all in 1 year. And if that's the case, no amount of income and savings will be enough. Okay? And what I believe is that you can have everything, all of this that you want, you just can't do it all at the same time. Because not only will it overwhelm you, burn you out, make you even more anxious, right? It will also be very unrealistic. And if it's unrealistic, you're gonna give up on achieving that target savings or that target income. So for instance, for me, my first big life milestone, as I mentioned, was to quit my job, start my dream business. Eventually, I also wanted to get married. I also wanted to travel to Europe for 2 weeks. I also wanted to have my first real estate property. But I didn't achieve all of those in 1 year. I paced it out. So for 1 year, I focused on all in. I'm going to launch my dream coaching business and make it my full-time job. And then my second year, okay, this is where I want to go on my solo trip to Palawan and enjoy 5 days work-free. And then my next year was I felt ready now to get married because I felt like I was able to stabilize my business, and so that led me to saving up for the intimate wedding that I had with my husband, and also the turnover for our condo where we're gonna live together. And then the next year was when I went on my 2-week Europe trip, and now this year it's for my 2-week US trip with my husband naman. And so I share all of these milestones that I achieved in a way that I didn't overwhelm myself wanting to do them all at the same time. Because if I did, yung monthly income ko, kailangan parang $500,000 na siguro in order for me to achieve all of that in 1 year. And that's too unrealistic for me, especially when I was just starting my business. And so this is what I love guiding my clients on, is really figuring out what is the proper pacing of their life goals and milestones in a way that would excite them so that they're not overwhelmed in the process, right? Because if they're excited, they're gonna be motivated to stick to their savings targets. They're gonna be motivated to say no to things that don't align with their priorities. They're gonna be more focused on saying yes to the purchases, experiences that are really aligned with their life goals. So I remember in my first year of really going all in with my business was that I said yes to a lot of experiences and learnings in line with my business. So I invested in a 50,000 course. I invested in my life coaching certification that was like 100k pesos plus. But then in that year, I had to say no to travels muna. I had to be like, okay, it's fine. Like I can pause muna yung international travels and I can just do that next year. So I was able to decide for myself and prioritize like what is urgent for me to spend on, right? And the thing is, that was my life stage then, right? And what I see Filipinos getting overwhelmed by is like, oh, yung friend ko nagpakasal na. Or yung friend ko naka-house and lot na. Dapat ba ako na rin? Dapat ba nakakapag-save up na rin ako for that? That's when you start questioning yourself, oh, maybe my income is not enough. Maybe my savings are not enough, right? So that's why it's so important that you get crystal clear with what you truly want, with the pacing of those life goals that you want to achieve, so that you also get to pace out how much income is enough this year, how much savings are enough this year, and then next year mo na pag-isipan yung next life goals mo, next life milestones mo. And this is what really helped my clients in eliminating that money anxiety and eliminating that financial pressure and replace it with more peace of mind and security with their finances, knowing that I'm achieving my life milestones one at a time instead of overwhelming myself that I should be doing all of this now within the same year. My analogy here is knowing what is the first domino to take that will create a domino effect. And this is what I love helping my clients with, is like really, instead of thinking your life milestones are like 10 different dominoes that you need to tick one by one, think of it as like, what's the first domino effect that will create a ripple effect for all of those dominoes and all of those life goals, so that it will create momentum instead of thinking that each goal will create a different effort. So for example, for me, my first domino was to launch my coaching business and make it a thriving coaching business, because that created the domino effect for me to increase my income that allowed me to fund the travels, to fund my dream wedding, to fund the property that my husband and I invested in, to fund my Europe trip, my US trip, right? So that was the pacing for me. One client of mine could be like, oh, the first domino is moving out on my own and living independently, because that will give me the confidence and build up my confidence that I can make my own decisions. And from there, it will give me more clarity on my next step for my other milestones, right? Or one client could be really plucking up the courage to pivot in their career, because once they pivot in their career, they're gonna know where they want to live. They're gonna know what's the property location that they're going to eventually save up for, or the travels that they could go to, So all of these things requires pacing and proper timing. So going back to what I said, is that you can have everything that you want, just not all at the same time. So you need to have proper timing and pacing for each of these life milestones, so that you're able to quantify what is enough for my savings and income this year for the next 6 to 12 months. And then after I hit those milestones, mag-iiba na ulit yun next year. So that's exactly what I do, and that's exactly how I've been helping my clients, so that they could ease off the money anxiety and feel confident that my income is enough, my salary is enough, my savings is enough to get me to where I want in the next 6 to 12 months, that will create a ripple effect for the rest of my other life milestones. If you want that personalized guidance and blueprint in quantifying what is truly enough for your income and savings in a way that is aligned with pacing your life milestones, so you can achieve them one by one with one income stream at a time, you can check out my website down below on how you can join my 5-month coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. This is the one-on-one coaching container where I've guided several Filipino professionals to eliminate money anxiety in the first 60 days of working with me, because not only do they figure out what they truly want out of life, but they also create a concrete financial roadmap and system to to get there. So that not only excites them to manage their finances, but they also get to build sustainable money habits and systems where they're able to balance enjoying the fruits of their labor while saving up for their future goals. And it's all possible in the first 60 days of working together so that you can stop wasting your time, energy, resources, money in DIY your finances and going back to the same cycle, going back to the same overwhelm and anxiety, and finally be able to prioritize your peace of mind and confidence with funding your huge life milestones one by one. So if you want to fast track that process in the next 60 days working with me, check the link in my bio on how you can learn more and how you can join my 5-month coaching program. So the first 2 months will be weekly one-on-one coaching so that it's super tailor-fit and personalized to your life stage, your priorities, to your income. And then it will be followed by 3 months of community support where all of my fellow one-on-one clients will come together in a community so that you can inspire one another in your journey towards funding your next life milestones. You could normalize money conversations, and instead of compare yourself with your peers, you're going to be surrounded by like-minded individuals who are rooting for you, who acknowledge how unique your own journey is, and also continuously be motivated in staying on track with your savings goals and taking action on achieving your goals. I've shared so many client wins on my Instagram lately, which I'm gonna share here. All of the wins from the WhatsApp community with my clients inside Fund Your Freedom, all of the client wins from our one-on-one coaching sessions together. And I want you to look at every single one of them and picture yourself that, hey, what if that's going to be me too in the next 60 days? That I finally prioritize my dreams, that I finally prioritize investing in myself so that I could stop procrastinating my financial goals and instead truly take the right course of action and have the right mindset and have the right guidance for me to finally achieve the financial goals that I've set for myself. So check the link in the bio to learn more or visit coachingwithnick.com on all the details on how you can join my program if it's the right fit for you. Because I swear, my clients would tell me like, I wish I enrolled in this sooner because I would have stopped procrastinating my goals earlier, I would have stopped all of the anxiety earlier, and I would have felt more at peace and confident in taking action on my goals sooner. Like, I swear, you're gonna read all the client success stories there in my page so that you can get inspired. And if you have any questions, you can also DM me on Instagram at thatsonick, and I hope to see you there. The third step in the process of knowing what's enough for your savings is identify the limiting beliefs that hold you back from taking action on your goals. So you might be wondering, so anong connect? Anong connect? Ba't kailangan ko malaman itong mga beliefs na to? Okay? And the reason that, from my experience coaching Filipino professionals, this is a big roadblock when it comes to knowing what's enough. Because it's one thing to get crystal clear with what you want and set goals for it, and it's another thing to be like, do you believe in yourself that you'll actually take action on it? That's so different. If you don't have belief and trust in yourself that those goals are achievable, that those goals are actually something you're gonna take action on, then walang kwenta yon. Going back to my personal experience, right? When I knew that I wanted to start my own business, when I knew that, I didn't act on it for years. I knew it, but I didn't believe that I could do it. And so what I did was that I procrastinated my savings. I procrastinated using my savings to actually take the leap and quit my job and start my business. So for years, I kept telling myself, oh, that's imposible yon. No one just starts a business online and does it full time. No one does coaching for Filipinos. Like, who does that? It's impossible for you to match your corporate salary with starting your business. And so when I had those limiting beliefs, doubts, fears, uncertainties, then I procrastinated making this goal happen. And so what happened when I didn't believe this goal was possible, then I got into impulsive buying. I got into retail therapy. I stuck in my corporate career, thinking that, oh, at least I have the salary to buy the things I want, you know, but not thinking like, if I believe that my dream business would be possible, then I would just use that amount instead for my savings. That would allow me to start my business. This is what I mean, that setting goals would basically be useless if you don't believe they're actually possible for you. Setting financial goals would be useless if you don't think you're actually capable of doing it. That's why I'm so passionate with helping my clients in identifying these limiting beliefs that have been subconsciously preventing them from taking action on their dreams, on their goals. For example, I have a client who has been thinking about moving out on his own, thinking about pivoting in his career, but even though the back of his head, that's what he wanted, right? And he wanted to set goals around it. But then when I coached him further, he realized, like, I don't deserve that. I don't deserve to prioritize myself. I've always thought of myself as second best, as not a top priority. And it was rooted from a lot of childhood experiences, financial traumas, things that were said to him in as he was growing up. And so this is the real work that I guide my clients with in understanding what were those events, moments, instances that led them to believe these things that have been stopping them from taking action on their goals. Because from there, once you identify the actual belief, you get to challenge it, you get to question it, you get to dig deep and check, like, is that really true? Or is that something that I've led to believe to protect myself, to keep me safe, to keep me within my comfort zone, so that I don't fail, so that I don't bet on myself? Because with this client, once I was able to help him reframe this belief and really come out of it empowered, he was able to finally prioritize telling his parents that he's moving out, that he's finally looking for places to live independently, that he finally stopped just settling for the day-to-day of his job and started applying for new career opportunities that would be more fulfilling. He started having more hobbies, enrolling in singing lessons so that he could finally pursue this hobby and stop thinking that it's not a priority. So all of these things, this is what I mean, that your beliefs translate to your actions. If you don't believe that your goals are possible, you're not going to take it seriously. You're not going to take consistent action. In the same way that if you're able to challenge those beliefs, you're able to reframe those beliefs and actually come out of it empowered and come out of it like, okay, there's another way of looking at it. Like, this is what I love helping my clients with. It's like looking at their beliefs in a different light, looking at it from a different perspective, and they realize that they're actually capable of achieving these goals. They're actually capable of prioritizing these goals. And what happens is, it translates into action. It translates into taking consistent action. When you see your goals as achievable, feasible, doable, then your finances will also reflect that. You don't just compensate for the small rewards that give you short-term gratification. You look at the bigger picture, you look at the bigger goals that would give you lasting happiness, lasting fulfillment in your life, and your finances will match that. You're gonna start thinking about, like, oh, I would rather save up that money for that big dream instead of settle for this impulsive buy, instead of settle for short-term rewards, because I deserve better. I deserve something bigger. I deserve to achieve the biggest dreams that I've always wanted for myself, and I don't want you to settle anymore. And this is why I'm so passionate about doing a holistic approach when coaching my clients when it comes to eliminating their money anxiety, doing what's enough for their savings, building sustainable money habits and systems. I combine life coaching and financial coaching because major life milestones involve making crucial money decisions. Every life milestone that you have, it's going to involve money. It's going to involve decisions around money. It's going to involve managing your income around it. And that's exactly how I've been able to get to all of these life milestones that I've shared earlier, is because I had the right mindset and system around money to get there. So again, if this resonated with you and you want to finally stop making excuses, stop procrastinating your goals and dreams, then I'd like to invite you inside my one-on-one coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. Check the link in my bio to learn how you can join, if it's the right fit for you. And you can also check this video of my client success story for you to get inspired of the journey that it takes from being anxious around your money to being confident in funding your huge life milestones one by one. So check that out, and I'll see you there.